Hello boys and girls, welcome to this presentation. In this presentation, we're going to talk about Unit 6, Lesson 8, Bob and Bashir, the basketball. Question A. Listen and read the story, then answer the questions. Let's take a look at the questions first. Number 1. Where are the basketball courts? Number 2. What does Bashir not have? Number 3. What is Bashir's joke? Why is it funny? Now, let's read the story and then come back and answer these questions. You can stop the video, read the story alone, or listen to me reading it and then answer the questions. And then come back to the video and check the answers. Now let's start. It's going to hurt for a few days, said the nurse. I was in the clinic for the ant bites. Try to think about something else. Bashir and Paul were waiting for me. Let's go to Southport Park, Paul suggested. We have 2 hours before our bus leaves for the camp. Okay, I said, but don't mention insects. When we got to the park, there were lots of people playing basketball on the public courts. I wish I had my trainers, Bashir said. I want to practice. You're sport crazy, Bashir, said Paul, laughing. Do you ever think about anything else? Bashir laughed too. He was a bit embarrassed. Sorry, he said. I love basketball. I want to be a basketball player. As you can see in the picture, they are in the public court and some people are playing basketball and these guys are having a conversation. I thought so, said Paul. When I'm older, I'm going to be a doctor. A doctor? I said. Really? You'll have to study for such a long time. I don't mind. I enjoy studying, said Paul. What about you, Bob? What are you going to be? Bob wants to be an entomologist, laughed Bashir. Very funny, I said. Suddenly, a basketball flew through the air. Bashir ducked. I didn't. It hit me on the nose. Ouch, I said. Why me? Why do these things always happen to me? Bashir and Paul didn't say anything. They just laughed. Now, as you can see here in this note, an entomologist is a person who studies insects. As we said in the story, some people are playing basketball in the public court and these guys are having a conversation. Now, you can read the story again by yourself or listen to me reading it again and try to answer the questions above. And then come back to the video and check your answers. Now let's check the answers. Number 1. Where are the basketball courts? Where are the basketball courts? So the answer for number 1 is very good. The courts are here in Southport Park or Southport. This is for number 1. So we write number 1 next to it, okay? Very good. Now, number 2. What does Bashir not have? What did he forget? Yes, he forgot his very good. His trainers. Good job. Number 3. What is Bashir's joke? Why is it funny? Now, Bashir's joke is that Bob wants to be an entomologist, a person who studies insects. This is funny because Bob has been bitten by ants and doesn't want anyone to even mention insects because he hates insects. That's why he said, oh, you want to be an entomologist. That's why he mentioned that. So this is the joke. And this is the answer for number 3. Very good. Now let's move on to the next question. Question B. Now do exercises A to F on pages 75 and 76 of the workbook. Now let's move on and check the workbook. The workbook, Unit 6, Lesson 8, Bob and Bashir, the basketball. Question A. Read the story on page 78 of your course book and complete the information sheet below. Now this is the information sheet about the story. It asks questions about the story. You can stop the video, go back to the story, check these questions answers, answer them, and then come back and check with me. Or you can repeat this video and put on the part that I read the story, and then get the answers, write them, and then come back and check here. Now, let's check. Let's start with number 1. Number 1, title. What is the title for the story? Let's write a title for the story. Let's say Bob and Bashir. Let's make it a capital B here because it's a name. Very good. Bob and Bashir, the basketball. Let's say this is the title, okay? Now, what are the characters for the story? Let's go one by one for the characters, okay? First character is Bob. The first one is Bob. Okay, the second one is... Very good. The second one is Bashir. And the last one is... Good job. It's Paul. Very good. Now, number 3, what is it about? What is the story about? You can make this as a short answer, or you can make it a long, detailed one. Now, let me tell you this. The story is about when Bob, Bashir, and Paul go to the basketball courts in Southport. Bob gets hit on the nose by a basketball. That's it. You can make it detailed like that, or you can make it short. I will say Bob gets, for example, I'll make it short. If you want to write one with details, you can do that. It's okay. It's with your own words. You can use your own words. It's not a problem. For me, I will make it short, with short words that describe the story. I will say Bob gets hit on the nose with a basketball, for example. This will be my answer. Now for number 4, if I liked it, I will say why, and if I didn't like it, I will say why. Why not? Well, it's okay. You don't need to say that. For me, I will say I liked the story because Bashir's joke is very clever. Yeah, his joke was very clever. So I will say I liked the story because I liked the story because the entomologist joke was clever. Yes, and it was Bashir's joke. So I will say because Bashir's joke is very clever. Yes. So what I will say is I like the story because, yes. You can use your own words, by the way. You can say I didn't like it. For me, I said I liked it because Bashir's joke was very clever. Yes. Now let's move on to the next question. What new words did you learn in the story? You can use the new words that you learned and you find them new for you. You can use any words you want. For example, I will use some words that I find quite new in the story for some students. For example, court. Another one is yes. Another one is embarrassed. Yes, embarrassed. It sounds new for some students. And the last one will be Entomologist, yes, entomologist. Now these three words, I can say that they are new for some students, but most of them know them, yes. Now let's move on to the next question. Question B. Read the definitions and match them to the words below. As you can see here, we have 3 definitions and 3 words. I need you to match the definitions with the words. You can stop the video, do this question, and then come back and check. Now, let's check. A. Move to avoid something. Which one of these do you think it is? Very good. It's duck. So A is duck. Now, duck has this other meaning. Now, duck in another meaning is an animal that quacks. Very good. But here, it means to avoid something by moving. Very good. B. Shoes to play sport in. Which one do you think it is? Very good. Trainers. Trainers. Good job. And the last one, shy about something, means, very good, embarrassed. We studied this before. Embarrassed. Good job. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question C. Write the opposite of these words. We have 5 words. We need the opposite words of them. You can stop the video, answer this question, and then come back and check. Now, let's check. Number 1, lose to. What is the opposite? Very good. Beat. Number 2, lazy. What's the opposite of lazy? The opposite of lazy is, what do you think? Very good. Hardworking. Good job. And number 3, polite. What's the opposite of polite? We studied this before. Yes. The opposite of polite is, very good. We have 2 words. We have impolite and rude. Very good. Number 4, pass. What is the opposite of pass? For example, passing a test. What is the opposite? It's fail. Very good. And number 5, we have break. What is the opposite of break? Yes. Break things. The opposite is repair. Very good. Very good. Now let's move on to the next question. Question D. Find the odd one out. Circle the word. Now we have 3 words in each number. One of them is odd. We have to circle them. You can stop the video, answer this question, and then come back. Now, let's check. Number 1. Which one is the odd one? We have burn, put out, and teach. Burn and put out is about fire. So teach is the odd one. Very good. So number 1, teach. Good job. Number 2, we have pilot, mechanic, bus driver. Pilot and bus driver are drivers. So mechanic is the odd one. Good job. Number 3, we have green, patient, and kind. Now, patient and kind are types of personalities. Being patient and being kind is a part of personality. Now, green is a color, so green is the odd one. Good job. Number 4, university, college, office. Now, university and college are places that you study in, but an office is a small place that you can't study in, so it's the odd one. Number 5, we have equipment, uniform, trousers. Now, trousers and uniform are things you can wear, but equipment you can't wear. So this is the odd one. Good job. Number 5, we have science, driving, and history. Science and history are subjects that you study, but driving is not a subject. Very good. So it's the odd one. Very good. Now, let's move on to the next question. Question E. Talk about yourself or talk about your answers. Does your partner agree? Now, when you finish this, discuss this with your partner or with your pair or in a group, and then discuss it with your teacher and find out if you agree on most of the answers. Now, let's move on to the last question. Question F. Write these abbreviations in full. As you can see here, we have 5 abbreviations. We want them to be written in full words. You can stop the video, answer the questions, and then come back and check. Now, let's check. Number 1, DR. What do you think it stands for? DR stands for what? Very good. It stands for doctor. Good job. Number 2, IT. What do you think it stands for? IT stands for you can use the book. You can find these in the subjects that we studied before. Now, IT stands for information technology. Very good. Number 3, maths. What do you think it stands for? You can check the course book for these answers. So maths stands for what? Very good, mathematics. Number 4, exam. Exam, what do you think it stands for? Exam stands for what? Very good, examination. And the last one, PE. What do you think it stands for? You can find this in the subjects that we studied before. PE stands for what? PE, so we have 2 words, so it's physical education. Very good, physical education. And this is the last part of our presentation. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.